Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and this is part 2 of our conversation with Bill Oakes about what we can learn from the pros to help our adult recreational game. If you haven't listened to part 1, we hope you go back and listen, but here is part 2. Bill, I really liked your point that the majority of the time we shouldn't be going for winners.
I mean, I watched a singles college match where I think I saw 3 winners hit. This is a Division I Power 5 match.
Right.
Saw 3 winners hit in a match. Every other point was an unforced or forced error.
Mm-hmm. That's my game. That's me.
Yeah, are you
unforced errors? This is
unforced errors. Yeah, I think I set a
That's
record.
what our podcast should have been called, Unforced Errors.
I tried to name it. I actually tried to name it Unforced Error, and somebody already had it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think unforced errors. That's what drives most points in USTA recreational play. It's not winners. So if you cut down on your unforced errors, think of how many more points you'll win.
Oh yeah.
I haven't talked about, set up a point. Yeah, if you're a top player, you can set up a point. It's a game of chess. I think Rafael Nadal may be the greatest player ever at also learning how to set up a point. He plays 2 points. He plays 2 shots ahead. He knows that if he moves you to this particular point, you're going to have choices. Then you're going to have, and then he's going to do, this is what he's already in his head. This is what I'm going to do. And then, Novak is great at it. Obviously, top players are great at it because they want to not only take care of the physical excellence they have, but the mental excellence and they play chess when they're out there, not playing checkers. And I think that we need, top players, that's a key factor. But I think most of them know that. I'm really thinking more about the players that are 2.5, 3.0, 3.5 on how to small little things to make their game a little bit better from what I've seen from the top players and heard from the top players.
Yeah, I watch myself play tennis, and it's shocking that I can win matches because I don't feel like I'm that good either, but I have a lot of fun doing it.
She's great.
I think your last statement's the most important one. You have a lot of fun doing it.
Exactly.
And the other part, and the part that I think really I find great about both of you and so many others, is that you have joy and in the game and what you do, and you get to have fun with it. And you get to do things like this podcast where you get to hopefully bring that joy to others and let them talk about the joy they have in playing, tennis, the sport of a lifetime.
Yeah. But again, back to doubles too. If our 2 opponents are talking and they seem to be coming up with a plan, I'll sometimes walk up to my partner and just say, I don't really have anything to say, but I want them to think that we're coming up with a plan, whether we have one or not, because that gets in their head.
Your communication with your partner does not need to be always, hey, do this. It's, hey, we got this. Hey, what do you have any thoughts? Take a split second. You've got, at the Pro Tour, there's 30 seconds between points. Okay. Some people want to maximize that. Some people take advantage of it. I get that, but don't feel like a point ends and you have to be in position right away. Play at the comfort and pace of your game within the rules. So that doesn't mean you can take 2 minutes between points, but take your few seconds between points. And and sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need to clear your head on a bad shot or whatever it is. So take that time. The pros do, and they do it. I mean, when you watch a professional player try to play fast, it's because they feel like they're on a roll and they've got their opponent in a bad spot. When you see players play slow, sometimes it's because they play slow to just slow down their opponent or get in their head. But it's all based on their comfort and their desire to keep a pace that they want. And the same thing can be for regular players. Just do it within the rules. And that's do it within your allotted time, and don't feel bad or pressured. And if you see them, 8 seconds after the point's over, standing and ready to serve and you need a break, just say, and you don't even need to say sorry if you don't want to. I mean, I think that's a nice thing to say, but take your few seconds. Hey, give me a sec.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Are you still playing pretty often?
I don't play as much as I'd like to because I have a bad shoulder from a skiing accident. And so I've never decided I don't want to get surgery. So serving is really problematic for me. I like to hit, but I was playing with Dave Odom, the former Wake Forest and University of South Carolina basketball coach. We're about the same level. We would hit pretty regularly, but he always wanted to play points. And I always would say, I'm not going to play with you if we're going to play points. Because I can't serve. He's like, oh, no. And then he, after we'd hit for 5 minutes, like, let's play some. I'm like,
right.
That's great. I do have one more question for you, Bill. Since you did used to play tennis a lot and you played in a fun league, what's your most memorable moment on the court?
It's not a good one.
That's okay.
So that's okay. I was playing in an 18s event more than 2 days ago, being that I'm now 57. I was playing in an 18s event and on clay, and I drew the second seed in the tournament, and he was crushing me. I mean, beating me senseless. So I had lost the first set 6-love, and I think I was down 2-love in the second. And it was 40-30, and I was serving, and I served and volleyed and came up, and he lobbed me. And he hit a great lob, 4 inches inside the baseline. And I called it out. I hooked him. And so I could win a game. And I went and rubbed out the mark. After the match, we're at the net, and I said, I just couldn't lose double bagel. Aww. And he laughed. And he goes, no, I don't blame you.
Aww.
And he was a good player. He played Division I college. But it was so much fun playing that event. And I remember it to this day. I can tell you where I was, what court I was on. He was just a really good guy. I will say my favorite positive memory was the first time I got to play a match with my parents at St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. We would go play there, and I remember as a little kid going to play there and then playing a match with my parents. And that to me is really what drove my love in the game. Mm-hmm. I became a ball boy at the Washington Star, which is now the City Open. I started working at tennis courts at Wintergreen in 1977. And this has been tennis has been a good portion of my adult life and career. And it's so much fun. And it's brought me so many friends and funny stories. And, whether it's Brooke Shields or Martina Navratilova or Andre Agassi or Pete Sampras, I've got so many funny stories that I wish I could write a book, but many of these people would then try to run me over if I wrote the book.
Exactly.
We can't thank Bill enough for being on the podcast. If you'd like to see a picture of Bill, please check out our website, which is secondservepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you on the courts soon.